Hello everyone, this is Jay Tucker, and in this tutorial we're going to go over the process to request a test promotion, specifically to what you need to do in Git using source tree. So it's a 6-step process. As you can see over here, I have it listed under the FAQ section on the Git wiki page. The prerequisite to getting to requesting a test promotion is that you have completed your changes, whatever the software changes that you need to make on the development branch. Alright, so once you have your changes ready, the first thing you do is you check out the test branch. And we are going to go over how you do that under source tree. Okay, so when you open up source tree and you open up one of the repositories, the everything listed under the branches section, these are your local branches, right? And you can tell that they are blue in color, and that tells you that they're local. The ones that are listed below under remotes and origin, they're all your remote branches. So as you can see right now, I don't have a local test branch. So the first step I need to do is to right click the remote test and say checkout origin test. Select that option. What this does is it creates a new local branch named test. And this is a one-time process. Once you create a local branch, it stays in your repository until you delete it. So you shouldn't have to do this every time. But the very first time you're trying to promote to test, you will have to do this. So as you see, it created a new test, a local test branch, and it checked it out. Uh, the next step is to ensure that the local test branch is in sync with the remote test branch. If it's not, you pull the remote test branch. So in our case, since we just created this test, uh, it is in sync with what's on the remote server. Another way to tell is the local test, which is the blue test, and the gray origin test, they should be on the same version of the repository. So that's another way to tell that they're in sync. But just in case they weren't, what you would do is you would uh, go up here to the pull button, select pull. You would say pull from origin, remote branch to pull. Under the drop down, you would select test and pull into local branch. This should also be test. So anytime you're pulling something, unless if you're deliberately pulling changes from a different branch, you want to make sure that these two names are the same. Test always gets pulled into test, unless you have a reason to uh, do it differently. Alright, I'm going to select this option that will merge the changes immediately if there are no conflicts, and I'm going to say OK. Alright, so it just ran a pull command for us. The next step, based on our instructions, is to merge your development branch into the test branch. So what you do at that point is you check out the branch that you want to merge into. In this case, we want to merge into test, and we already have that checked out. So we would go here, click on the merge button, and then it's going to ask us to pick a commit to merge into our current branch, which is test. And I want to merge this bug1 text file into test. I'm going to include messages from the commits being merged into the commit merge commit. So basically it'll copy over all the commit messages that are being merged by this action, right? So I'm going to say OK, and that's it. Now if you notice there's a 2 listed on my push branch, and over here it says that my local test is 2 versions ahead of my remote test. So in order for me to sync it up, I need to push my local test up onto the remote server. And I think that is our next step. So step number 4 is resolve conflicts if there are any. In this case, we did not have any conflicts. If you do have conflicts, there's a separate video that covers how to resolve them. Alright, step number 5, push test to remote server. And we do that by selecting push. We just made changes to the test branch, so that's all we're going to push. And we're going to say OK. And that's it. You've pushed your changes onto the remote server, at which point you're done with everything that you need to in Git. Step number 6 is to create an RFC with the information from the merged test branch. So that is one thing that I wanted to point out. The information that goes into the RFC as far as the commit ID goes is this information from the merged version, right? So it would be this 1B8090B. That would be your commit ID, and the branch name would be test. And that's it. That's how you would request a test promotion.